So I got my buddy Gary here doing some mudding on the ceiling up there. He's really getting into his work. And then I got Justin over here again, cranking on the boards. Just a flurry of activity here at the house today. I got the skylight this morning primed, and I think I'm gonna paint it too, just because it lets so much light in. You can kind of see where I had one coat of primer and spots where I had two coats, so I think that'll even out with paint. The ceiling, I don't think I have to do that with because it's not gonna let crazy amounts of light in like the skylight. Holy cow. Good news. I finally got the skylight completely done. I trimmed out the top of it just now. Look at it, it's all nice and beautiful, trimmed out, textured. I just have to add the trim on this whole bottom section once I finish the ceiling. Other than that, it's done, and that means I can get this scaffolding out of the way. I no longer need it. Woohoo! All right, so me and my buddy Gary textured this whole room yesterday. This is the closet off the master bedroom. Textured the ceiling, we textured the walls, so I'm gonna give the walls a light, very light sanding. Ceiling will just stay textured like it is, and then I can put the shellac primer over it. The small bathroom here, you see that I put the header up there, or the rough sawn board to cover the header. I'm gonna do that over all the headers in the house and sort of make them look like a timber frame build. And underneath that little crack right there, that's just a small gap. So I'll cover that with a piece of trim. So on the big pieces in the main living room, I'm going to sort of puzzle them together so it looks like it's a timber frame connection. And behind here, we have the vanity in place. I can't remember if I showed you those, but I'll show you the one in the big bathroom a little later because it's dark in there right now. So I spent all day with Mrs. Z. It was pretty awesome. I don't get to do that all the time. So she's driving me right now. She's my chauffeur. We're going out for burritos at Jimmy's Roadhouse. Looking forward to that. So we have been working on the house, and then we went up to Menards and Lowe's and got a bunch of shopping done. We got doors. We got 3-bedroom doors. We got 2-bedroom doors. We got 3-bedroom doors for a 2-bedroom house. Balls. We got 2-bedroom doors, a bathroom door, and then we got a barn door, like a sliding barn door for the master bathroom, which is just a half bath. And what else did we get? We got wire shelving. Sorry, we're shaky here. She isn't a super aggressive driver, so if you see my bad camera skills, it's not really bad camera skills. It's that she's like Mario Andretti.
Yes, let's get there.
Crazy. She's made more people car sick than the bus driver from, what's that movie with Keanu Reeves? I can't remember. Yeah.
What is that? Breaking Fast?
Something like that. So, what else did we get? We got wire shelving for the closet. We got a outlet and a plug for our oven and some other stuff.
Stove. It's not just an oven, it's a range.
Range cord.
It's got the stove and the oven. It's not just an oven.
It's very technical. So we're gonna go enjoy some burritos. Good morning, y'all. Yep, it's getting longer still. It's kind of crazy when I wake up. It's time for a haircut, really. Unless I'm gonna grow it long, but not cutting it till we move in. So we got some stuff done. Let me flip this around and show you. So we got a big pile of our trim work. This pile and this pile down there, it's all stained and ready to roll. We finished getting the pre-filling done in the whole living area. And my bud Robert was here yesterday and we hooked up some electric stuff. Check this out. We actually have a switch. Boom, we got lights. Boom, we got a fan. Look, fan's working. Lights are in. I think we might end up adding another light in this bathroom because it is a little dark where the shower is. And I need to build the shower walls pretty soon here. But look at, we got that light installed. So our vanity light, I'm still gonna build a backsplash right there. And then we're gonna put a mirror in, but that's the vanity light that we chose. And then, if we come out of here, well, look at this too. I got doors installed. So Alexa's bedroom has a door. This bathroom has a door. And this bathroom, because it's a 2x6 wall, I had to do our trim work kind of set in here. And then that'll get covered by more trim. But then we have our bedroom door also in place, which has to get trimmed out. But me and Mrs. Z were here last night late. This is the master bedroom, and we were in here sanding all of the pre-fill, taping all of the joints, and going over all of the screw heads. So my job today, if my shoulder can handle it, I got some ibuprofen kicking in here because my shoulder was hurting from all that work yesterday. So Mishawn's working today, so I have to sand all of this stuff one more time and then go back with the lightweight joint compound and fill. But here's the master closet. Look at, we got lights. We got 2 lights in here. It's nice and bright. I have to trim out the attic access there, but I put some shelves up in our closet. We got a bunch of stuff in here right now because it's a convenient place to put it out of the way. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze though. Hang on. Yes, I knew that was coming. All right, so here's the utility room, which is not totally finished yet, but boom, we have lights in here now too. Those little lights in the ceiling. So I gotta finish the paneling in a couple spots here, up there, and the ceiling I'm not gonna worry much about. I think I do have to fill those seams up there for inspection. Other than that, I'm not gonna deal with it anymore right now in here. And then if we go over to the small bathroom, we have light, that's fan, and lights and fan in here. So the vanity is in place. I built a backsplash for that. We have a smaller version of my light over there. And I have the backsplash in place. I just got to fill a couple nail holes there. We did the beadboard so it matches the front of the vanity. And then you can see back there kind of in the corner, I did the beadboard all the way down. Got to get a cover plate for that right there. So this morning, while I wait for ibuprofen to kick in, I'm doing some lightweight work. I'm trimming out this door jamb to the utility room. I might trim out this door jamb to the master bedroom, although I don't remember if I cut boards for that or not. And I'm gonna trim out this doorway to the half bath. And we actually just got a barn door. So we'll have a barn door for this one that just slides on one of those cool big barn door sliders up there. So that's what we got going on. So there has been a lot of progress, I feel like, in the last few days. So I'm gonna get rolling, get some more stuff done so we can get moved in here. All right, so what I'm doing right now is taking all of these rough sawn boards, just lightly sanding them because I want the kind of the rough sawn texture that you see there. But then I'm putting a coat of stain on them, and I'll show you how I'm doing that. But here's what they look like when they're all stained. So a lot darker. See if I can give you kind of an overall look. So that is what they look like stained. That is what they look like unstained. So I'm gonna show you my mad scientist way of doing this. All right, you know, if you've been watching my videos, I'm a wing it kind of person, just making this up as I go. But there is a method to my madness. So what I'm doing to get my stain just the way I like it is I'm taking this fast dry polyurethane, and this is a satin, and then I have, so this is a quart, and then I have a pint of Minwax Provincial stain. That's the color name, Provincial. And I'm mixing these two together completely, stirring it all up. And then I use that as my tint. So I'm taking this clear polyurethane here, which is it's made for floors, but it's the same thing. It's just a satin version of this is all it is. It's just a little bit thicker is all. And so then once I have this mixed, I'm using this mixture to tint the gallon. And so I'm just using, man, maybe like 10 to 15 tablespoons probably to tint from this into this to tint this the way I like it. So yes, I'm a bit of a mad scientist when it comes to this, but this is from all my years experience making signs look old, and that's how I do it. So follow along. I made the mistake of buying rubber gloves that said one size fits most. Well, apparently I have bigger hands than most. Maybe most women. All right, so from what I just showed you on mixing up the clear, gosh, I'm glad I'm not a doctor. This would be ridiculous. I feel like there's a question. I feel like the question would be, why don't you just mix, look at this. Why don't you just mix the Provincial stain directly into the gallon of clear? Why do you go to the quart and then to the gallon? And the answer is simple. Because I have more control tinting the gallon with Provincial that's already mixed in clear. And this is born out of mistakes. So if I mix the pint of Provincial, even just trying to mix certain amounts of it into the gallon, I don't have as much control over how tinted it gets as if I've mixed it already in a quart of clear. Then I can go in larger increments and it doesn't tint it as drastically. So in this case, I've put it in my roller tray after I've mixed it into the quart and then into the gallon, and I decided it wasn't quite dark enough. So instead of mixing a little bit more into the gallon, which I will do, but I already have some in my tray. So then I just took some of the tinted clear from the quart and threw a little bit of that in my tray, and then that darkens that up just a little bit. It's really, I'm just eyeing it to get them all approximately the same. And because these are rough sawn boards and I don't want perfection, I mean, if I was going for perfection, I would get clear oak or clear pine or something like that. I don't want perfection. I think there's beauty in imperfection. Man, I can preach on that. Holy smokes, that's a topic I can go off on. There is beauty in imperfection. And so when I was making a living doing the antique style signs, my goal was to make them perfectly imperfect, which is exactly what I'm doing on all of this trim, and in fact a lot of the things I'm doing on this house. Even the concrete. I told my concrete guy when he was pouring it, don't make it too perfect, because I don't want that. I want flaws. I want texture. I want all that stuff. That to me is beautiful. Not to everybody, and I totally realize that, but I'm not building a house for everybody. I'm building a house for me. So that's the method to my madness. So you can kind of see the drastic difference here. Let me grab my phone and I'll show you firsthand. Try not to cover up the lens here. Nope, that's not gonna do it. Let me flip this around. Am I upside down now? I am upside down. See, I'm imperfectly perfect. So, let me flip this around, I'll show you. All right, so dipping into my roller tray here. See how dark it is on the roller cover? See that? And then I'm going right onto this. You can see the color change right there. Look at that. And the beauty of the imperfection of rough sawn wood is just all of the texture. Just stuff like that. In fact, some of these boards even have some surface mold on them like that. I love that. I'm sealing that up, making it look super cool. Yeah. So that's what I'm working on. This is the kind of thing that normally gets rejected. This is from when, I think these marks are from where it gets fed into the machine at the mill. But I could be wrong there. But most people would reject this because it has all of those lines in it. But this is one of my favorite boards so far. Just because I think that is all character. You know, you get darker spots like this. I just think that is so beautiful because it's imperfect. Stuff like this, you know, where some of the softwood that's still there soaks up more stain than the hardwood. And one of the reasons I also mix this with clear, especially for pine, I mix the stain with clear because I don't want pine to soak up so much stain, because normally pine, because it's so soft, soaks the stain right up, and like a dark stain will look even darker on pine because it soaks it in so much. So when I mix it with clear, then it doesn't soak it up quite as much, and I have much more control over how it looks. Like dark pine does not look good in my eyes, but something like this, just really rich, lots of depth, lots of texture. And if I wanted this to look old, I can always do that by doing the same thing I did on these boards here, you know, where you can see the difference here. This is much more red, and this is much more weathered looking because I added the black paint on it and then wiped it back off. So you can kind of see the big difference right there. And maybe for my trim on this accent wall, I will add the black to it just so it all looks uniform. But yep, that's where I'm at. I got a big pile of trim I'm working on, so I'm gonna take off for the evening, but I'm gonna get a fan blowing on this and get my dehumidifier going as well, because I brought in all these boards from outside. They're not real wet, but they did have some snow and stuff on them. So I think that dehumidifier will help dry things out in here a little bit. And I'll get back at it tomorrow. All right. The good news is I just finished the small bathroom. Look, I have the base trim. I mean, the toilet's got to go in there, but got the base trim. I got the corner trim. I got the ceiling trim. We have a light, we have a fan. We have a vanity. And the door is all trimmed. I just have to install a mirror, and I am gonna do some caulking, like right in here where you see that edge right there. I'm gonna caulk that so it disappears. I've been a trimming fool today. I got all the rough sawn pine on the ceiling, so that is 4 inches thick. No, actually that's 3 inches thick. 1 by 3. And I decided in this bathroom to do all of the corner trim also with the rough sawn. So up there is kind of our header, and I'll probably add a piece underneath that as well. And then I might even go all the way up in the corners with a small piece of the rough sawn trim. So I did that in the corners. I have all of the base trim done. That's the 2 by 6, which we cut down to about 5, and it's 1.5 inches thick. Turned out really cool. I'm really happy with everything. This piece right here, I just pulled off of my lumber that was outside drying, so I did not stain that yet. You can tell a little bit of a difference, so I'll stain that once I let it dry for just a little bit in here. And I have to build the shower surround still. That might be on the agenda for next week. Get that shower surround done. I have questions though. Speaking of questions, Mrs. Z was just over here. That girl has questions. When she comes over here, she just barrages me with questions. She has so many questions about stuff. From, what are you gonna do with this trim? How's this gonna be trimmed out? To, what are those little holes in front of the shower? Talking about that little hole there and that little hole. Just to show you the size. That's how big it is. Mrs. Z has an element of OCD that is either gonna get better with this house and the imperfections. Like I told you in my earlier clip, I love imperfections. Imperfections are beautiful to me. But there's an element to her OCD, like the cement floor right here with the troweling that really came through once I sealed it. I like that. I'm a fan. But I don't know if the OCD in Mrs. Z can handle that stuff. I think it's gonna make her better. I hope. Either that or it's gonna drive her crazy. So then when you go into this bathroom, so we got the closet here. I did some of the trim on the closet. I've got that inside door trim, and we're gonna do a barn door, like the barn door sliding cool hardware up there. We bought a barn door that's gonna slide right back into that corner. And we are not going to do a door from the closet to the utility room, which is right there, / laundry room. And then I got this door trimmed out going to the master bedroom. But I'm standing in the small bathroom right now. Let me turn on a light here. Get back against this wall so you can see. There's the full picture of the vanity, the light, the ceiling trim. So in this room, I decided to do the quarter round in the corners here. And I don't love it as much as the rough sawn stuff, but in this small bathroom, I think it works fine because it's a smaller space. And then if I turn around by the vanity, eventually there's gonna be a toilet there. And I love all of this texture. I am a huge fan of it. Hopefully it grows on Mrs. Z. But yeah, I like it. I like it. I like the imperfectness. So we have the master bedroom, all the mudding and taping done. I just do have to do like a once over with just some lightweight mud on the seams, and then we're ready for texture. And my buddy Justin was here. He sanded all that today, and he sanded all this hallway stuff except for the top part. So I got to get up on a ladder and sand all the upper stuff. And then that's ready also for one coat of mud over the seams and then texture. But Mrs. Z came over here today because this bedroom, this is going to be Alexa's bedroom. And it's right now, it's just kind of my staging area where I'm keeping everything. And seriously, it was so messy, you could not even walk in here. And she came over here and looked at that, and it drove her OCD berserk. She said I was going to drive her nuts with my messiness. I'm like, I can't help it. It's like I'm busy working and I don't have time to clean and organize. I don't even have time to get a haircut. So yeah, she came over and she rocked it out. She cleaned this whole place up in here and organized it, and it looks really good. Like, it was driving me nuts too, but I was like not nuts enough to where I was gonna do something about it. So she came over here with her OCD brain and kicked it in. She did a good job cleaning it up. And she swept the whole area out here, because this was a disaster too. This whole, because we've been just cutting up trim in here. It's a mess. It is so messy. It's like, I was thinking I should have built a pole barn for a workshop about the size of my house, just so I could do the work in the pole barn and not make all the messes in the house. But I don't think that's possible. For one, I couldn't have afforded it. And for another, I don't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So that's about it for now. I'm pooped.